Good morning, and it's good to have you join us on Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan African news network, TOS Television. My name is Merciful Ajinabo. Joining us in the studio to talk about stories from the front pages of national dailies this morning is Adebayo Fajimi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
All right. We have a couple of stories this morning to talk about from the front pages, as always. Let's begin from the Nigerian Tribune. The banner headline right there says, World Bank, food inflation could push 6 million more Nigerians into poverty. We have three rathers. The first, poverty rate to hit 42.8%. The second, Nigeria witnessed highest surge in food price inflation in 2 decades. And the third, food insecurity may have long-run consequences for human capital. We're already seeing a spate of poverty and how people are trying to survive in what we call, we may say, sometimes early this year, we suffered recession to an extent, came out of it, went inside, and now we're seeing World Bank saying food inflation could push 6 million more people. How do you react to this story?
Yes, no doubt about that because the first measure of knowing whether a nation is really progressing, developing, or rather out of poverty is the sustainability of the citizen. So when the citizen are wallowing in hunger, so what do you expect? And like we say, an hungry man is a
Hungry man.
is an angry man. So if people cannot have food, if they are not rest assured of food security, of course, that portends that there is great poverty in the land. So it is a very strong signal for Nigeria. And like the federal government has been saying that they are in fact there are a lot of money they say they have a mark for food security, but at the same time we are still not seeing anything. So I think government needs to take a very proactive steps to ensure that this do not happen.
All right. Still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, from the very top there, we see three stories right there. Headlines, please take over APC National Secretariat. That's coming on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. The writer says, they are acting on security report. Caretaker Committee Secretary says no personal score to settle with Marafa. And you see there was nothing like there's any diamond bra. That's coming from EFCC chairman, says over 200 billion naira lost to investment scam, and that's coming on page 2. And then suspected Ambazonian soldiers from Cameroon kill 11 in Taraba. That story right there on insecurity is on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. On top of the news, the picture of the day there, we see Falola bags UI's first ever academic D-Lit degree. We see besides that Zik Mausoleum, not functioning, Obi of Onisha tells federal government Southeast governors. That's coming on page 4. And we see other stories. We see something in Lagos, 5 died in Lagos about an expressway tanker explosion, another 3 killed in bus accident. That's coming on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And the next one newspaper here is the Daily Sun, and with the banner headline right there is talking about security cordons off roads to APC headquarters, movements to deny protesters access to party office. And on the top of that, of the headline there, we see Abia suspends selection of judges, restarts process. That can be found on page 6. Secessionist agitation threat to food security, and that's coming from Delta government. And then besides the picture of the day, they will see bandits intensify attacks in Niger, kill 2, abduct children of village head, wives of councillors, 64 others. And then we see nothing will stop Soludo swearing in, coming from ABGA, and the Uba kicks insist on legal action. And FAAC allocation to federal government, state, local government areas dips by 68.055 billion naira. That's going on 2 and page 25 of the Daily Sun. And we see 5 burned to death as tanker explodes on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Senate orders probe into Lagos gas explosion. It was caused by acetylene gas. That's coming from retailers. And then police arrest gun manufacturer POS robbers in Imo State. On the Nation newspaper, the banner headline right there, of course, is disquiet as petrol sells for 159 naira per litre at depot. The writers say product raised by 11 naira per litre, and NPC accuses operators of breaching packed. What do you make of this story, seeing that the year is coming to an end? And of course, it's a Yuletide season where people will have to, put fuel in their cars. And of course, cost of transportation is always increasing towards the end of the year. But now this year, it's as if the tradition has continued. But this time, there's an increase in the price of petrol. What do you think of it?
Yes, excuse me. This is going to give people a lot of anxiety. It's going to spoil a lot of things because if marketers get to their power and they discover that what they were they were privy to is not what they are seeing, and of course everybody is in business in order to make profit. So of course they want to sell what they bought. Do you get? So this portends that during the Yuletide, there is tendency, if practical step is not taken, or if the stakeholders in the industry do not take a very practical step, if they are not proactive enough, of course it's going to test on the citizen, because people want to travel from different part of the country to visit their families and to enjoy the season. But when the price of transport goes up, and you cannot afford it, and even those people, some people want to even stay back because they know that they might even spend more than, because when you go visit somebody, you want to give money to people, spend money and all of that. So there is no way it's not going to tell, and it's going to affect Nigerians negatively. So I think the stakeholders in that industry should step up and do whatever they can do to ensure that at least as Yuletide, as it's around the corner, every Nigerian that wants to celebrate peacefully and enjoy.
Okay, still on the Nation newspaper, we see 4 dying in another Lagos building collapse. That's coming on page 3. And then IG female cops can live with civilian spouses in barracks. Female cops can live with civilian spouses in barracks. That's coming on page 6. And NNPC gets 104 billion naira loan from Afrexim Bank. That's coming on page 7. Cameroonian separatists kill 11 in Taraba community, and that's on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. And then we see US removes Nigeria from religious freedom violators list. We can get all of this story on page 4, of course, and also on the front page of the Nation newspaper. And then hashtag NSAS, leaked report has errors, says panel member. The writer says Lagos seeks restraint. Okuno calls for authentic report. Of course, this story has been, trending for over the past 3 days now. What do you take of this back and forth of some sort? They brought the panel that Lagos State set up, brought about a report, and now we are seeing some panel members are saying there are errors in the report. What do you make of this story?
Well, I've not had a great deal of them, commenting on this, but the member who says the report that was leaked that has an error, but we are yet to confirm whether the one that was given to the state government, to Governor Sanwo-Olu, has error. So, and even because I believe if there is anything in what has been submitted to the government, the likes of what was it called? Ebolu Adegoro, the human rights lawyer, will have spoken. So, but I think so far so good. There is nothing in what has been given to, but the one that was leaked, he said, there is an error in it. So let's just wait and see how events unfold regarding what has been given to the state government.
All right, so I will wait and see that for sure. And still on the Nation newspaper, we see 1 killed, 68 abducted in Niger. That's on page 3. Of course, on still page 3, we see Senate probes Lagos gas explosion. All of the story can be found on the Nation newspaper. And don't forget to stay updated on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, to know what's happening in Nigeria and, of course, across Africa, as we are digital first Pan-African news network. Of course, you can also be a part of our social media community. Follow us across all our social media platforms at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, Instagram. And of course, we have our YouTube there so you can watch, like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on our amazing content. Thank you for joining us on Nigeria Now. We'll see you tomorrow. I remain merciful. Ajinomo.